Hey, what's up? This is Hunter with Tortoise and Hare, and today we're going to be talking about local SEO for MSPs and talking about putting in local landing page infrastructures on your website to attract search engine traffic for local queries in your area. So let's hop right into the episode. So again, today we're talking about local SEO for MSPs, and we're going to start by talking about local landing page infrastructures for your MSP. And a local landing page is really just something that is a landing page that's targeted for a specific, area, city, county, neighborhood, zip code, etc. And these are critical to helping Google and other search engines understand your website and your domain as a whole. But they're also very important for attracting local search engine traffic. And typically the local search engine traffic is going to be a little bit, less competitive than going after, head keywords. So it's a very, sensible and good investment choice for your MSP to roll out an infrastructure of these local landing pages. I don't think it's a stretch to say that just getting an adequate local landing page infrastructure for your MSP can help your MSP generate 1 to 3, 2 to 4 leads per month, just by having good, solid coverage of local SEO landing pages on your website and having really tight landing pages that can actually garner interest and convert traffic. So very smart investment, and you should definitely take these seriously. And we'll hop over to the screen share and just look at it at some examples and a recommended infrastructure. All right, so kind of the first thing you want to get set up is a top-level navigation page. This sort of page is really not designed to have a lot of traffic sent to it, and it's really something that if I'm a browser, I don't necessarily need to spend a ton of time with a huge sales pitch about the locations we serve. Just get me to where I'm trying to go as fast as possible. Again, it's typically referred to as a navigation page. So you just want to make it really clear and organized and kind of break down where and help the user get to where they're going quickly. So this is a Canadian site, and then when you kind of drill down into the location served beneath that, I've gone to the province level next. If you're a US company, you might go to the state level next. So provinces are Alberta and British Columbia. I've tried to incorporate some unique cityscapes that are contextual to the location. And a lot of MSPs tend to try and set up landing page infrastructures that are just extremely granular as far as okay, we're going to have a location page for managed IT in let's go to Calgary real quick, so that's just easier to talk through because that's a city. So we'll have a managed IT page for Calgary. We'll have a cybersecurity page for Calgary. We'll have a cloud solutions page for Calgary. We'll have, basically our entire, core services set of pages for that exact city. You can do that, but I don't think that's necessarily a need, and I think that leads to such a huge amount of page bloat. I've had some pretty good success just setting up these local landing pages such that there's very clear headlines with the services that you provide. So instead of having an individual page, per service like this, you can have your individual services highlighted in a subsection, and have had pretty good success getting these to rank, for both managed IT, city name, managed cybersecurity, city name, things like that, by just taking this sort of approach. And kind of controlling the page bloat. You don't want to put in too many location pages because that can They'll compete with each other. That'll lead to cannibalization issues. And generally, you don't want to solve a link building problem with by creating too much content. So like generally, like, you know, if you got a Calgary page here, you want to have all your services and things and put, you know, a very robust, you know, landing page together for, you know, your location, and then get additional query coverage and, you know, rankings by link building to that page rather than creating 7 pages. That one page could really, you know, do the function of it. So yeah, again, kind of going back to location served here, you know, you want to have a top level navigation page right off the root domain of your website, and then have, you know, develop that site structure. So you've got all your location pages, like, you know, underneath that /location served directory, subdirectory. And then again, you want to drill down into, like, you know, whatever the next level of granularity is, and in this case it's going to be a province level, and then from there you're going to go down to the city level, which is the next level of granularity. So you can see we've got /location served /Alberta /Calgary. Generally, you do not want pages to be more than 3 clicks from, you know, the website or the homepage. So you know, there's, in the US, you might set up some county pages as well. But generally what I'm doing is putting, like, you know, if I got state pages, so let's just say we got Florida, you know, I would just put all the counties and all the cities underneath the state page instead of having, like, drill down into location served state and then drill down into county and then drill down into city from county from there. You know, because that's really going to extend that into like a 4-click depth, and you want to have like no more than like a three level depth from your homepage. So, you know, that's just something to think about when setting up those site structures. So again, but yeah, you know, you want to try to look and also see, like, what are the major locations, what are people going to be searching. You can start out at the state level, or the, you know, province level, and then, you know, get some data, some feedback, and then maybe drill down into like the county level. I'm actually not sure what the equivalent would be for a Canadian business, and then use those to prospect for queries, you know, because the state and the county and the kind of mid-tier location levels can help you identify additional city pages that you might need to create. You know, you probably have a pretty good idea of what the major cities are around your area, so you can start with those major hubs as city pages, and then, you know, publish all that stuff, wait like 2 to 3 months, and then review your query data on those pages to prospect for additional cities, and that will help you guide the efforts of what you know, can create from a city page area, because you don't want to create too many pages that don't have a lot of like search demand existing for those queries, because that will make your site vulnerable to what's known as the Panda update by, you know, creating too much content. I have a customer that's got more than 2,000 pages and gets like 300 clicks a month because they've just got way too much content and there's no search demand for it, so it's just dragging down their domain overall. I'm doing advertising for them, not SEO. So, you know, I've told them about the problem. They don't, you know, but it's one of those things, like, you want to create as much content as you need, but no more. Because if you start creating too much, then, you know, again, that will make your site vulnerable to the Panda update. So again, start with those state level pages. You can go down to like a county level page and then use those pages to prospect for, you know, additional like cities and things like that that might match, because usually you'll see query data come in, but you just won't rank really high for it. So you'll know, like, I need to go put a city page out for this city or this colloquial area. You know, for instance, like South Florida isn't like an official location, but it's something that like people would refer to as, you know, if it's a, you know, major location, like people might search by the neighborhood name. So you can also like kind of look for like neighborhood names and see if you need to create location pages for like neighborhood names. But again, these location pages are super powerful. They're a key ingredient for local SEO for MSPs, and rolling out an adequate, landing page infrastructure for, your local SEO for MSP sort of strategy could help you, get 2 to 4 leads per month. Once the pages have been indexed, got a little time on the search engine results pages and are, mature enough to generate that stable volume of clicks. It's not going to happen overnight. Usually takes 6 months for things to happen in an SEO sense. So you do have to be patient, but it is worth the investment. And side note, we can help you roll out those landing page infrastructures in a more streamlined fashion with a programmatic SEO approach. Generating a high volume of these pages is a big effort to create these sort of things one by one. So we can help you get these rolled out in a streamlined fashion and also make them very maintainable. So if you're interested in local SEO for your MSP, definitely feel free to reach out or tackle this on your own. So yeah. All right, guys, hope you liked the video. Local landing page infrastructures are a key ingredient for success in local SEO for your MSP. So definitely don't ignore them. And you can roll them out in a one-by-one approach, using that kind of keyword prospecting method with starting with state and county pages for the mid-tier, maybe some major cities, and then reviewing your search engine data to go out, with major ones from there. Or you can reach out to Tortoise and Hare, and we have some, ways to detect these, queries and put out a much stronger and quicker effort to get you up and running and get that, 6-month SEO time clock ticking. So you can start generating 2 to 5 leads per month for your MSP via local SEO. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And once again, I'm Hunter Nelson with Tortoise and Hare Software, and thanks for watching.